Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has hidden unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure, or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Do you feel qualified? A friend of mine moved out of town because her husband had gotten a new job in a new place, away from friends and family, but the pay was much better. It sounded good, but it was a disaster. As it turned out, he was completely unqualified for the job. He struggled for months, but eventually he had to find another job because he was in over his head. I don't know about you, but I've felt completely unqualified for several things God has called me to do. I've even argued with Him. God, you've got the wrong girl. I'm good for background stuff, like keeping music organized, painting, or even inviting people to church. I can do that. Someone need a poster made? I'm all over it. Someone lost their job? Send me. I'm good for one-on-one hugs anytime. But lead a Bible study? Doesn't that involve speaking before a group? Standing up on stage and talking? You've got to be kidding. Starting a podcast? Haven't you noticed how technology never works for me? I'm totally unqualified. Well, I'm in good company. Moses pretty much told God the same thing at the burning bush. And Gideon was quite sure God was talking to the wrong guy when he called him at the winepress. The thing is, realizing how far you have to go, how unqualified you are, is what qualifies you for God's plan. He doesn't want someone who thinks they can do it on their own. He wants someone who's willing to step out in faith with Him and realize that if it's going to succeed, it's going to be God because of His faithfulness, not because how they had it all together to start with. If we think about it, we're not even qualified to be His children, let alone to do things in His kingdom. But that's where Colossians 1:14 comes in. Paul has just talked about walking worthy of the Lord and how God has delivered us from Satan's power and transferred us into Jesus' kingdom. Then he says we are to give thanks to the Father who has qualified us to share in the inheritance of the saints in light. He does the work. Salvation, equipping, strengthening, making us what He wants us to be, to do what He's called us to do. And then He gets the glory for the whole thing. In my natural state, I'm not fit or qualified for anything, especially not for being His child. I'm a sinner, deserving of wrath. But He took me and molded me and made me into a skilled, valuable worker for His kingdom. His child, with His power. To God be the glory. I don't have to struggle to be good enough. It's His working in and through me that makes me good enough. He prepares me for whatever He has for me to do, and all for His glory. Now that doesn't mean that things won't go wrong. I might stumble over a chord on stage. My notes may go flying when I pick up my Bible. The computer may not have any sound when I'm trying to start Bible study or record the podcast. Yes, all these things have happened. But hey, I'm not there to look good. I'm there for God to look good, for Him to work in the hearts and lives of people. And He will, no matter what the technology does, and no matter how awkward I am. I can't let my fear of what might go wrong get in the way. I must fear God more than I fear failure. What is God calling you to that you feel unqualified for? Do you trust Him?
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to share a treasure God has given you by doing an episode, please contact us. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you'll find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.